What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ben, and I got Brett here with me tonight.
Hey,
Mix of
what's
Six
up? What's up?
Live. How you doing, Brett?
Oh, we're doing good, man. What are you drinking?
Oh, good question. I
You said you
got
were cracking a beer.
a tangerine haze from Stillwater Artisanal. Is that right? Or, I don't know, something like that. I think this was one of those. What you got? Green
Green
Machine,
Machine from Boneshire, which is our next
Boneshire.
episode release.
There you go. Great plug. Is that this weekend or next? Next.
Easter weekend.
Yep,
Easter
next weekend.
weekend. I didn't
Oh,
think about it
fantastic.
when we did that recording. I should have put my Easter bunny ears on.
Oh yeah, you always got all the decorations. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to episode number 20 on Mix of Six Live. Well, almost on 6 months here, Wednesday nights. And we got Brett in the house tonight, and we are going to hear a little bit about Brett and Sal's birthday trip to Pittsburgh. And from the sounds of it, you guys had a hell of a time, drank some good beer.
Oh, dude, we had awesome times. The CPP was in the Berg.
There you
So
go. What's
went out, actually went out
what?
to see Jordan. That was why we did it.
Okay, yeah. He got a hold of me at like 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon and said, "I am drunk."
Yeah, we cut the Saturday afternoon pretty short after hitting
So,
5 breweries. So
oh man, so you had like a did you make your own tour kind of deal?
yeah, so originally there's a Pittsburgh brewery tour. It's kind of like Glenn has here,
Okay.
and I was looking at that and thought, well, maybe that'd be pretty cool. But I'm out there with my wife, and it was a 5 hour tour. It would have been cheaper if I'd have done the tour. However, I didn't want to leave my wife alone for 5 hours. So Jordan, I talked to Jordan when he got there, and he's like, let's just do our own. I was like, that sounds good to me. I already had like 7 breweries picked out. We didn't hit 2 of them because they weren't open when we started out.
Now, I am not familiar with the Pittsburgh craft beer scene. Are we talking walking distance? Are we talking all over the city and the surrounding area?
They are all over. Um, I, like so, we stayed down at PNC Park.
Okay.
Um, and there is a couple right down the street from between the two stadiums, Southern Tier and Voodoo. That was the first stops we made. And then if you
Nice.
walk across that bridge, which is closed, you had to go up to the next one, which takes you down near Market Square. There's a couple in that area. And then the Strip District has some, and then they are up and down the river on the outskirts of town. So no, you would have to drive. Um, it was fun. That's the first time I've been in Pittsburgh to visit, and I had a blast. I mean, it was. I'm gonna have to go back because there was a couple I didn't hit that I wanted to hit.
Oh yeah. I mean, you get to some of these cities, it's hard to hit all of them in one day now. It's kind of nuts.
I did my damnedest, man. I did my damnedest.
As you typically do. So, you got any favorites you want to drop as far as maybe
Well,
like
so
favorite
we hit 12
atmosphere?
breweries. We hit 12 breweries.
Holy shit! Every time you say something else, the number goes up. I thought we were at
Well,
like
I
seven.
forgot when I told you the other night. I was like, oh shit. Well, I didn't get to 412, and I didn't get to Strange Roots.
Okay.
They weren't open when we started out Saturday. Um, we started with Grist House, and they were on my radar when I went out. And thank Jordan's been there. He said this is a cool place. I don't know if he's done karaoke or just been there, and it is in the middle of. It's a neighborhood. There's no parking lot, and They had 5 food trucks there on that street.
Nice.
They were doing some special ski brunch thing that I mean everybody was wearing their ski goggles, ski pants, stuff like that. It was pretty cool. We didn't even know that. Um, but they had just built onto this place because Jordan said there's no bathrooms in there. It was like the tap room, and then it was just open. But they had just expanded and built this, and this was like the first day it was open. So I guess that's why they were doing this special event. But I do recommend if you go out to Pittsburgh, make sure Grist House is on your radar, and it's right down the street from Strange Roots. That was also on my radar, but they said they were open at 11 o'clock, and we pulled up. But they weren't open. Like, all right, on to the next one. But Grist House had some amazing beers. It was an amazing venue. Um, it was awesome. I wish we could have spent more, but we were weaving our way up I guess, the western side of Pittsburgh on the outside of the river.
Okay.
And it was awesome. I mean, Grist House, Sally found a beer that she actually liked.
What would that be?
So I bought 3 4-packs from Grist House.
Okay.
I don't normally give out 5-0s, but their special beer release that day was a barrel aged maple syrup. I forget what's in it, but it's called extravaganza or something. I tasted it, and they really selling that in 2-packs. So I bought 2 4-packs or 2 2-packs.
Oh man, was it that boozy or that high ABV?
It was a 5.0. I don't normally give out 5-0s, and I think I've given out 3 now in the last month. One of them was to Mad Chef's Buenos Nachos. That one, and we'll talk about one here in a minute from Pittsburgh. It was a fabulous beer. I'm like, oh shit, I got to buy that thing.
Damn. So what's the deal with the 2-packs? Is that an ABV thing, or is it like just a number of oh shit, what word am I looking for?
It was a special beer can release, so maybe that's why we only had it in a 2-pack. And we made X amount of beers, and they were only selling it in 2 instead of a 4-pack. But definitely, if you get out to Pittsburgh, make sure Grist House is on your agenda. Good luck trying to find parking, but it's pretty cool. It's a cool joint. If we get back out there to visit Jordan again, I'm going to Grist House. They're definitely on my. You had asked me about one that was on my radar, and I passed it, but I didn't stop.
Oh, what is that called? Churchworks? Church Brewworks?
Church Brewworks.
I was there. Hell, I think it was a long time ago. Jordan and I used to go out there and visit Drew at Pitt, and that was one of the stops shortly after we turned 21.
It was on my radar, and Sally and I've watched this show called What's Brewing. They're out of the Philadelphia area.
Of course, yeah.
And that was one of their recommendations. So they were on my radar, but during our visitation, one led to another. It's like, oh, you got to go here. You got to go here. And on our way up, so the other 5-0 that I gave was Trace Brewing. It's on the northern side of Pittsburgh. And I passed Churchworks. I'm like, shit. We should stop, but nah, better not. So that'll be on my second venture out there. But yeah.
Okay. So what's so great about this one you got from Trace?
So it started out, we went to the Strip District on Friday. I wanted to do something to, let the wife walk around in the Strip District. If you've been to Pittsburgh, have you been through the Strip District?
I don't believe so.
All right. So it's the old warehousing section of Pittsburgh that got run down, and now people have come in and rejuvenated these warehouses and it's a phenomenal place, storefronts and stuff like that. They're rejuvenating that area. So if you do go to Pittsburgh, I definitely recommend hitting the Strip District. So it started out, we started walking up the Strip District. We got out of the car and parked, and there was a little coffee and donut shop there. And they were talking about mini donuts, and they were about that big. Kraft donuts. I could have spent all day there. I'm walking in there. I'm like, a kid in a candy store when it comes to a donut shop.
Oh, man. Yeah. Every time my mom's got leftover sweets, she says, let's take them over to Bret.
Take them over to me. They'll be gone. So we went through the Strip District, and it's like 10:30 on Friday morning. And we're walking down through the backside of the Strip District, and there's this supermarket, meat market, I guess, and they were lined up outside the door. Well, I understand $9.99 for ribeyes and snow crab legs. It must be the place to go to get your meats and seafood. But right across the street was Helltown. Now, that's not an original Pittsburgh brewery, but it's a PA brewery. So I'm like, and it said open. All right. Sally and I walk in, get a beer, tell her who I am, hand out our card and stickers, and talk to her. And she said, you got to go down to Aslan. So, okay. Wasn't planning on it. So that's on the other side of where they were at, down on where we had started. But while I was at Helltown, I had their brown ale, and it was really good. So I'm going to have to go. check out more Helltown. But while I was there, I picked up some. She said, "Do you like comic books?" I'm like, "Not used to." They had these special beer releases that were apparently designed for a Comic Con that was out there. These are
Oh
all
shit,
barrel aged. This
that's
one is
cool.
actually signed. I got 3 bottles of that I picked up. I don't know when they were brewed, when they were bottled, but it was a special beer release they did for Comic Con. I guess that was out there. So I went to Aslan, and then from Aslan they recommended to go to Trace. He says, tell him Shaggy sent you. He'll hook you up. Right? I've heard of Trace, but I've never really ventured into where they were at and that kind of stuff. But so we went up to Trace, and that's when we passed that Church Brew Works. I was like, oh man, we gotta stop. Better not. So Trace is on the northern side, and it isn't in the best section of Pittsburgh. And I don't know, you've been to Pittsburgh now. Did you guys drive in or Uber in?
I've I've driven in a few times, and then I used to take a mega bus or whatever, some public transportation thing. So
Well, that's probably the best, because if you're driving around, if you're not downtown or in the Strip District, parking is at a premium. You can't find parking. That's what Jordan said. He said, you ain't going to find parking. You got to get there early to get on the street.
oh man,
But it wasn't in the best section. So we found Trace, walked over to Trace, walked in and told the bartender, "Hey, Shaggy told me from Aslan." He's, "Oh, I got something for you." And it was called 23 Rye Whiskey. They're sacred objects. It was a barrel aged in rye whiskey barrels.
oh man, right up your alley.
10.5%, dark, smooth, with a little bit of that rye whiskey bite. Oh man. It's not the fanciest of places, but it is a cool venue. And it was packed at noon. It was full. And I mean, that was the other 5-0 I gave. It was a fabulous beer. Of course, they don't sell it outside the beer outside of the brewery, but I mean, there's a whole bunch of them in Pittsburgh that I have not yet ventured. I went out there with a couple in mind: Cinderland's, Brew Gentleman, Grist House. Crap, where were some of the other ones that I wanted to hit? But I didn't get to a bunch of them. There's just too many. It was fun.
There's too damn many of them. It's no wonder why breweries in PA sells a billion tickets for the Philly invades Pitt or
Yeah,
whatever, and vice versa. It's just a
I think
good
there's
high.
more in Philly area than because you've got to consider the surrounding area, King of Prussia and that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah, the
coming through.
suburbs kind of go out a little bit farther on the eastern side of the state, but hell, I mean, from end to end, the state's pretty damn
Uh,
It's got to be up there, man. Up there in the
I think
selection.
we've crested to 500. I really think we have. I know the beer throwers have been posting up a couple that have decided to close,
Yeah,
but for everyone that closes, somebody's opening up.
yeah. Seriously,
I think there's about 500 in PA right now, craft houses. Keep it going.
that's
Gives
yeah,
us content.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Speaking of content, we got a new episode out every other Saturday. As Brett said, Bone Sharp Brewworks is next up on the agenda. And dude, you packed the calendar. I mean, we're into
We're into
June, I
June.
believe. Yeah, into June.
Yep.
So, again, the people in the industry are more gracious than ever, and they're just lining up to talk to us.
And actually, while I was out there, Trace emailed us, if you saw that today.
I did.
So I replied back, like, dude, we're South Central PA, but you want to come on? We'll bring you
Yeah,
on. That was pretty cool.
yeah, for sure.
Coming out there from our visit, it didn't boost the subscribers yet.
We're working on that. It's not like the content's slowing down at all. So, Mad Chef was our last release. Francisco and Greg, I believe it was,
Yep.
joined you and Dad on StreamYard.
Yep.
And
that's a place I definitely recommend. You got to go.
dude, the vibe between Greg's business mind and Francisco's culinary mind and cultural background, and seemed like a pretty solid,
that was
cohesive
one of the
unit.
best Cuban sandwiches I've ever had, and I like Cubans. and that was one of the best that I've ever had. Of course, he's from Puerto Rico. It's
Yeah.
right up his alley. So
Yeah. Man. What else was I going to say? Oh man, I know we keep saying this a few times, but it seems like we are finally breaking through on setting up a merch site. So
oh, we are. So that
just
stuff
wanted
works.
to put that out there. That stuff did work. Yeah, it seemed
Cool.
pretty cool. I just have to pick a few
And,
products and
and
get them listed.
speaking of that, my neighbor got a laser engraver.
Oh shit.
Yep. So he gave us a couple coasters on slate with the CPP logo,
Nice.
and he was over there messing. We went over the other night, and he was messing around with some glassware. You gotta hook us up, bro. You can hook us up. We can hand out a glass and a sticker to our guest
That's
with
pretty
the
dope.
CPP engraved logo. Check that
Hey,
shit out.
maybe if somebody would participate in the giveaway.
Yeah, we could give that away.
Yeah, man. We're trying. We did eclipse 150 subs on YouTube, which is great. And I've been working on some more clips and stuff. So I mean, we're just plugging away, and I think we're enjoying doing it. And man, I tell you what, I really enjoyed getting out with you guys at Big Bottom a few weeks ago. I
Oh,
don't
that
get
was
out a
fun.
ton.
That was fun.
I
We
don't get
should
out
have
a ton
started a
anymore.
fight. We should have started a fight. We need that one video that just pushes us over the edge.
Yeah, for sure. And on that same page, we got the Tap Takeover or the Ales for Tails takeover at Gift Horse coming up April
That
8th.
is next Saturday,
We
April
didn't
8th.
all talk about that yet, but I plan on going. So
I think so. And I think I read it. It's not till like 3 or
it's
4, something like that, late afternoon.
2 to 6, and I texted Jason yesterday, and he said, "Come on down, bring the equipment or whatever." I don't know what we plan on doing, but hell, we're gonna be there if you want to check us out down in York at Gift Horse
Yeah, check us
for a
out
good
down.
cause.
Oh yeah, yep. It's their tap taker. I think it's whatever money they raise, they're getting some money out of that tap taker for the Ales for Tails
Yep,
event.
yep.
That is in August. I think that is August. Forget the date.
12th,
12th. Which
August
we plan
12th.
on
Yeah,
being there as well.
I think my ass might be in the sand with a beer in my hand, but I'll have to double check that date. Oh shit. Oh,
But yeah,
so
some of the other breweries we hit were, Cinderlands we went to. They have a couple different locations out there. We went to the warehouse, which is at the end of the strip district. It was good. I'm going to say I'm going to write home about it, but yeah, I'm glad I went. They were on my radar. Dancing Gnome was on, and Strange Roots. I've had some Strange Roots already, and Dancing Gnome. So, but I said we didn't get to Strange Roots. We went to Dancing Gnome. Great atmosphere there, and a couple beers I had there was good. Hitchhiker Brewing, they were on my radar, and you've probably heard of them. I think PA
yeah,
Brewers and PA have talked about them guys as well, and I think some of that collab stuff that did Hitchhiker's usually involved with that. Um, cool joint, other side of Pittsburgh side of the other of the river on the north side, and they told us you got to go out and check Old Thunder out. Didn't even know that was around. Well, it's Old Thunder. And it's kind of like it was a newer establishment, but they did a lot of like a traditional German kind of style Kolsch lagers and stuff. They had some side pour taps going on. It was cool.
now we're
You know,
talking about the large variation of craft breweries across the state. When we're talking about Pittsburgh, are we talking about, like smaller, medium end establishments, like smaller barrel systems, or I mean,
I yeah, the Brewers weren't there to really ask.
okay,
Cinderlands was a big facility. Now they, like I
oh,
said,
okay,
that was the warehouse. They have a foeder house, and I don't know
oh
where
shit,
they do their main brewing at. Um, they did have a bunch of stacked barrels, so they must do a lot of barrel aged stuff. And Old Thunder had, I mean, I didn't see Old Thunder's. Dancing Gnome had a pretty big brew house. Hitchhiker had a decent size. I'm going to say probably 10 barrel, 15 barrel. But, the brewers weren't there. But everybody was I'm handing out stickers and the business card. God, check us out, man. Give us a sub. Um, and the bartender that I met at Helltown, she's a home brewer as well, and I had a good conversation. I said, "Hit me up. We'll bring you on and do it. We'll do a recording with you." So we'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah.
But Penn was on mine because I think that's one of the older ones in Pittsburgh, Penn Brewery. Um, I think it's in the older section of the western side of Pittsburgh. Traditional style beers, and it wasn't a. I mean, they were all right. I had their Penn Dark, which was a Munich Dunkel. I had to try their IPA. I got to do the variety. Their single bock, which was they're called their St. Nicholas. So I'm assuming that's still left over from Christmas time. If it's still there, that's what 3 months, 4 months past.
Yeah.
And then their winter ale and their Beyond Porter. The porter was really good. I really enjoyed that porter.
Seems like a nice variety.
Recommend some spots to go. Definitely Grist House. Check out Hitchhiker. Even Southern Tier, even though it's not a PA brewery, but that atmosphere down there on the riverfront between the stadium areas, it was cool. The beer, everything I had from Southern Tier was good. Voodoo, I only had one, and I saw you had checked it in the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy or something.
Ollie, my neighbor Ollie just got me that a couple weeks ago.
It was funny because I'm looking through my Untapped, and I was like, oh shit, Ben checked that in, and I had it too. So toast.
That was pretty good, if I do remember correctly.
It was very good. I mean, we've had Voodoo, and it to me, Voodoo is Voodoo because it's become more of a franchise. And I'm not sure where's Voodoo. They're actually Meadville. So they are a PA brewery. But
yeah. I got a soft spot for them because they did that collab beer with Styx called Oh Mama for the Steelers play that song.
I did see that. Yeah. I mean, didn't we have one of theirs on one of our episodes early on? Did we do the
I think it might have been that one.
Was it the Voodoo Ranger?
Oh, I do not remember that.
But so, I mean, if you get to Pittsburgh, just check out the scene. Brew Gentleman was on my list, and we just didn't hit him up. And one other one, I can't remember who it was, but I definitely want to hit Strange Roots. I've had Strange Roots before. I like going to places you can't get anywhere else.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I haven't done a ton of digging, but you've named a couple of the larger ones that we can get in the distro around here, but it's like, why not hit some of the smaller ones that don't distro outside of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, 412 Brewing was close to where we were staying. So Saturday we started out when we decided we're just going to drive, and I'm not going to let my wife alone for 5 hours. I'll go to the Botanical Gardens. And then when we left on Sunday, she goes, I'm glad I didn't because it was a mess. I mean, there's a ton of highways there. If you don't know, thank God for Google Maps. I even got lost leaving. It said get in your left lane. So I got in the left lane, and left lane went back downtown. I'm like, that ain't the left lane you told me to get in.
Yeah, it's a little bit overwhelming at first. I only been out there a few times, and tunnels, shit, and too.
Tunnels, bridges.
Yeah.
The one place I do got to give a shout out to Thursday night, and it was right across from PNC Park. So it was the same block away from where we were staying at the Holiday Inn. Is North Shore Tavern and Mike's Beer Bar. I think Mike's Beer Bar, we didn't go in it. I think they say they got 80 local taps, so they must stock everything. But we went there for dinner Thursday night. Steak on a stone. You order your steak. They pre-cook just the outside, and it's sitting on this sizzling hot stone when it comes out to you. And you cook it to your liking.
Interesting.
Oh my God. I got the ribeye, my wife got the ribeye. It was absolutely awesome. So we went back Sunday before we left when we met Jordan and Ashley. And of course, I'm buying a whole weekend. So it wasn't, like I said, the brewery tours would have been cheaper.
Yeah, no shit.
Man. But yeah, I got the pork chop on Sunday because I'm like, I just had the steak. I don't want a steak going for a 3.5 hour drive home.
Oh yeah.
And Jordan got the swordfish. It's definitely check out North Shore Tavern if you're going down for a Pirates game, a Steelers game, or if Penguins game, or if you're just in Pittsburgh. It's right across from PNC Park. Check out North Shore Tavern and get the steak on a stone. Absolutely awesome. I
So
didn't
you're
get the
about
Mike bar, but that's another stop we'll have to go back and try out. Maybe we'll have to make it a challenge. Who can sit there and try all 80 taps?
I'm always in for that kind of thing. I might need a wheelbarrow to get home.
I'll be sitting on the bottom of the bar stool, hugging the toilet, probably.
Sounds about right. So you're about a week too early for opening day.
Yeah, but I don't even think Pittsburgh was playing. I think when I saw their schedule, they had it posted. They weren't coming in town to the second week, so they must be on the road
Okay.
for opening week. But they were cleaning that stadium. They had the window washers out. They had a sign out as we were walking down through, and I got my picture with the Honus Wagner statue.
Nice.
I see
they're
people
in
walk in
Cincinnati.
Interviews. I'm like, oh, honey, maybe I'll go in and get an interview. Never show
Oh.
up to work.
They're in Cincinnati for opening day.
Okay.
Interesting.
So when is opening day? Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, and they changed it up a bit. So all 30 teams, right? 30? 32. 32. All right, I get my major sports mixed up. All 32 are in action tomorrow starting at 12:10 or 1:10, something like that.
That's unusual that they all start the same
Yeah,
day.
I like it. And then they sprinkle in an off day. Most of the teams have off Friday for rain delays and shit. But yeah, it's interesting now. Instead of just having like one opening night, I guess. What was it? Was it like opening Sunday night or opening? What the hell?
It's varied. I mean, they used to put the game of the week on like on a Sunday. They'd have some opening games, but they weren't televised. But Sunday night was like the main thing, like on ESPN or Fox. There was Sunday night baseball opening day. Like I said, I've lost MLB Network off YouTube TV, which I'm not happy about.
Come on,
I
YouTube.
am out of touch of what happened in spring training. And
You watch any of the World Baseball Classic?
I did, dude. I did, man. Fucking United States just couldn't pull it out. Japan was just too good. They were.
They
deserved it. They deserved to win that. I think the pitching kind of let the U.S. down during the World Baseball Classic. I just don't think they had the enough power to overcome some of the talent that Japan and Mexico. Heartbreaking the way Mexico lost.
Oh my gosh,
they had that game.
They did.
It's great. It's great for baseball. It is. And finally, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani got some notice, on the main stage, because you don't see those two athletes in MLB. That's the problem with MLB. They don't push their stars.
Right.
They need to push these stars to get the baseball back up and running, and they just don't do it like the NFL or even basketball.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a shame.
It was a totally awesome event just seeing Trout and Ohtani go head to head. Man,
that last time, it's like, he got up with 2 outs in that 9th inning, and this was the matchup you were looking for, was Ohtani against Trout, MVP, star, and Ohtani got him.
Dude, I saw two crazy things. So the first one, I think the count was full when he struck out. I think he threw him a 3-2 nasty slider.
It was what, 102 mile an hour too.
Oh, that was the 2 heaters before that. So Trout swung through 2 fastballs and then swung through a nasty slider. And I don't have the exact numbers, but a baseball Twitter account posted how many times Trout had struck out, or how many times Trout swung and missed 3 times in a single at bat over his career. And dude, let me tell you, this the smallest fraction you can think of, man.
That's right. You could probably count them on one hand.
I think literally, I think it was like 2 hands worth for his whole career. It's just
those
an
are
absolute
the 2 main faces right now, baseball.
Yeah,
they are. And Judge is third.
Yeah. Trout, like a generational talent, and Shit, I had two things. I saw people bitching at him on social media, like, "Oh, you POS, you've lost it for the country, and this and that."
Oh,
Go
you got
back,
it.
go back and look at that slider, and go back and look at how close he was, how nasty that pitch was, and how he stayed in there. He swung through that pitch, and he almost hit the damn thing. And look at
And
that
look,
horizontal movement,
did you see what Otani wrote? He said, I gave it everything I had to get Mike Trout out.
dude.
He did.
Yeah. The
I mean,
nastiest pitcher, the nastiest hitter on the
I think
planet.
when I was coaching you kids and we went into the YMCA, into that indoor hitting thing,
Yeah.
and Phil Heim got behind the thing, he said, hop in that box up there. That was with that, it still has the mechanical, but you're watching a projector picture.
Right.
And I'm sitting up there and all of a sudden, like, what the hell was that? He said, that was a slider. 80 mile an hour, never freaking saw it. I can't imagine a 90-plus slider coming at you. You don't see
God.
it. You're guessing where it's going to go.
You're guessing where it's going, and it's moving 3 feet.
Yep. And people don't realize when they sit in that box of how the timing and how coming out of that arm, you got to what these MLB players, these professional baseballs, and even the minors, and even some talented high school and college kids, you're recognizing that pitch coming out of their hand. I don't know how they do it. I'm a right-handed batter and right-handed thrower, but I can hit better left-handed on baseball because I can get timing down. Now everything's coming in straight and flat. You start throwing in sliders, curves, and that other breaking balls, I'm done.
Yeah, man. And people don't give that sport the respect that it deserves.
Everybody blames. I don't agree with the steroids. It doesn't help you hit the ball.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you hit the ball. Once you hit it, it might help you, but you still have to be able to hit the freaking ball, and it's not easy. It's one of the hardest things to do.
Right. Yep.
I can't wait for baseball.
Oh man, tomorrow I'm so ready. It's been a long off season for the Mets, and unfortunately, we lost our closer.
Yeah, by celebration, and he wasn't even doing much. He was just hopping up and down. Next thing you know, he's on the ground. Yep, it was a freak accident for him.
Total freak accident, but hell, like you said earlier, it was the Classic was awesome for the game. Hopefully, got some exposure and hasn't been around for a long time. But hell, I think coming around next time it'll be even bigger because
and I think what they did is I think it started like in the early 2000s. They had 1, 2, or 3 in the early 2000s, and then there was a break and COVID hit. There was supposed to be one between the last time the U.S. won it in 2017 and now. There was supposed to be one. And so now it's been, 6 years?
Yeah. So, and then the Olympics dropped the sport. So
yeah, and that's what I hate. I mean, the Olympics dropped it, and now you're getting the countries that can represent their country playing in baseball on its own stage.
Right.
Let's showcase this. So let's see how MLB pushes this and showcases their sport to bring it back to a more prominent thing. I mean, right now all you hear is the NFL and NBA. That's all you hear. I think even soccer gets talked about more than baseball.
It feels like it sometimes, unfortunately. Oh man. But shit, where was I going with that one?
I don't know, man.
Goodness, just had a hell of a brain fart.
But we're gonna have to go out. We're gonna have to go out to the burger again because we got to hit some more of the burgers.
Oh yeah, and maybe a ball game.
Yeah, Jordan said tickets are pretty easy to get for the Pirates. It was funny. We're walking around, and my wife goes, "Why do they say let's go Bucks?" I'm like, honey, what's a pirate? A pirate? I'm like, no. How about a Buccaneer? So let's go Bucks. And she goes, why they say raise the Jolly Roger? I'm like, honey, come on now, Pirates raising the Jolly Roger, the flag.
Oh, love it, Sal. Love it.
Yeah, my wife. Actually, she's become quite. She's not as much into baseball, but she will watch during the playoffs. But, ask me 1,000 questions. I'm all right with that.
Hell yeah.
She'll be like, she's like, okay, I know that. It was funny when we first started dating. She goes, "Isn't the fourth foul an out?" I'm like, "No, honey, that's softball." Why are they stealing? That shouldn't be allowed. That's illegal. I'm like, no, that's part of the game. And I think with some of these rule changes, we're going to see more stealing. We're going to see more small ball, classic baseball, traditional baseball being played.
I think so too, and I'm going to enjoy it. I think. I like
the no shift. I really do. I hated that shift. Now, I know if I talk to people, they say they love it. It's up to the hitter to hit away from the shift, which I agree. Dude, if you're a straight pull hitter, stop swinging for the fence. This is about passing the baton. What would I tell you kids? I would take 3 base hits over 1 home run any day. Lay a freaking bunt down the third base side and get on first base and pass the baton to the next person.
It's amazing how many people can't do that in the big leagues.
They can't. They lost some of the basic traditional skills of baseball. Learn how to play the game. Learn how to play.
Yep.
Stop swinging for the fence, collecting your $1 million paychecks.
I am going to enjoy the new rules. I do think. I was listening to a podcast earlier this week, and they were talking about they got all these advanced metrics now, but one of the ones that I enjoyed was the amount of hits that people lost because of the shift, because that third baseman or shortstop was short porch over in right field, acting as another
roaming.
Yeah, just like a rover dude just running around. And dude, people are when you got things like arbitration going on and your club's bartering against you, talking about all your stats, and that this shit's going to matter. It's going to make some people more money. I think it's going to be a more traditional feel to the game.
And I think that's what we need to get back to. And baseball needs to get better at promoting themselves and their stars.
Oh yeah,
like Trout. I'm afraid to say it, but Shohei Ohtani is not going to be an Angel forever.
He's not. And good Lord, I hope he's coming to Citi Field.
Dude, your Mets have spent a ton of money this year. I'm hoping it works out. They spent a ton last year, and it didn't work out for them. The Phillies have spent just as much, and I think they've made a better roster.
Well, the way they're expanding the playoffs, man, anybody can get in, and whoever gets the hottest.
The Phillies had a hot stick last year.
Yeah, they did. They were third in the division.
Yeah, they made
third in the division, but 6 teams in each league get in now. So it's like whoever's hot.
They hit their stride, and you couldn't stop them. And it was a Game 7, right? They went to Game 7, or was it Game 6?
Shit, I don't even remember anymore.
I think it was Game 6. Houston was on fire. I mean, it was going to take everything anybody had. I don't care who it was to beat Houston last year. They had it rolling.
They lost JV. They lost JV, and they're still going to be good.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, they're still going to be good. The Mets. I'm hoping. I can't wait. I love baseball. I love it. I don't watch a ton of it, but I love it. Baseball. I don't care. I don't give 2 shakes about football. But unless it's Penn State, and then Dave and I get into about Pitt and Penn State. So
it's a hot time for sports right now. Baseball's kicking off. Basketball's coming to an end, so their playoffs are starting.
Yeah, come on now.
Football free agency.
Yeah, baseball and hockey go to what? Or basketball and hockey go to what? The end of June?
July, yeah.
Wrap up your playoffs early. Why does 9 out of 10 teams got to make the playoffs, and you got to play 7-game series every freaking one of them?
You're sitting here talking about the league that goes 162 games, though.
Yeah, but we wrap our season up in 3 weeks in the playoffs. We're done in 2.5, 3 weeks. Done.
Well,
basketball drags it for a month and a half.
It used to be Mr. October, though. Now we're finishing up in like the second week of November.
That's because they added that extra playoff series.
Yeah,
that 3-game series now.
You ain't kidding.
Football never goes away. There's always something, and I think that's the NFL being creative and keeping you front of mind on content. Hey, all right, now we got the draft coming up, and now everything's about the draft and who's going to draft number 1, and then you got Lamar Jackson talk.
Yep. There ain't a ton of that going
on. Enough. Why do you need it guaranteed, dude? $40 million would set me for life and my grandkids.
The Browns messed it up.
Oh yeah, they signed a freaking jailbait dude. He should still be in jail.
Well, it just messes up the league because the next guy is going to want the same guarantees that the last guy got.
Yeah, and then you still have the Aaron Rodgers saga. Oh, I came out of the dark. I saw the light.
I
What
like
did you?
that dude. I like that dude.
You know, I used to, and I'm not a big football fan, but he's become a freaking whack job. Could you see him if he would have got the Jeopardy job?
He would have
Oh,
loved it.
that would have been a joke. I don't know, man. Football is. Yeah, I used to watch the Bills, so I kind of watched the postseason this year because everybody was saying the Bills were good, and like, all right, well, I'll watch a little bit here and there, and they're still same Bills, 0 for 4. That's good.
Yep.
That's where they're going to be, 0 for 4.
Oh, he might start catching flack soon. Allen, that is, if he can't get to the next level there.
Well,
And they lost half of their defense too, man. Everyone had to go somewhere else and get paid.
yeah, that's big. Yeah, I don't know. I think all these pro sports athletes, all these pro athletes make too much money, and they want guaranteed contracts, and then they
It's
get hurt.
only getting worse. It's only going to get worse. And why I
I
say
know.
worse, as in more money, because all these TV deals, all these streaming platforms, man, they're paying out the ass. And
Yeah, what is LeBron James? He's a billionaire.
oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
making out. I mean, he's
he
making
did
good money from the NBA, but most of his stuff's coming from endorsements.
he did everything the right way too. I mean, you think about some of the athletes that come in, get the fame, get the money, and then end up in trouble, man.
Yeah,
He was in the
Ezekiel Elliott. He got cut, and he
yeah.
didn't he get a big contract the other year? He got cut.
The Cowboys they went about that the wrong way.
Just
the way you build a team, it's not giving a running back that much money because they're gonna run out of shelf life, and he certainly did.
Yeah,
at least in relation to what he was getting paid.
From what I hear, that's what the Bills need is a running game, and some kind of an offensive line.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. We are going on 45 minutes, so
holy shit, was that 45 minutes?
Yeah,
I'm out of a beer.
I just
got home from racquetball. I didn't eat dinner yet. I'm like, I'll eat when I'm done.
Drinking dinner tonight.
So, hey, thanks for having me on out there.
Thanks for joining me. I appreciate hearing about your Pittsburgh trip. And
yeah, I'm gonna try and put out a video of it, and then maybe chop it up for some short stuff for the short reels.
For sure.
And, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun doing it.
Any other field trips on the agenda? I know we got some festivals coming up. We got the Gift Horse Ales for Tales thing. Anything else you're eyeing up?
Not really. I mean, we're going to be coming into the summer months here soon, and like you had mentioned, I mean, the bookings we're in the June for bookings right now for recordings for our sessions. I just booked another one today with who was it? I forget who it was. And I've got feelers out, so we're booked into the summer. We need to record as much as possible because everybody's busy during the summer.
Yeah, for sure.
What happened to us last year? We all got busy. We were in the middle of a house move, and my father passed away. And there went the whole summer. Next thing you know, it was fall. But we got to brew another beer. I got the English IPA getting ready to get out of the fermenter this coming weekend. Maybe put it into the keg. So we'll see.
Nice.
You come up with a recipe yet?
No.
Think of a recipe. We need a recipe.
Yeah, we do. Oh man.
So come up with one. Josh is going to come up with one. I said, just keep away from lagers and sours right now because I'm not in there. We're just going to do simple all grain beer batches until we get used to what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this English IPA comes out. Everything was spot on when I put it in the fermenter.
Nice.
Yeah, I checked the OG or the gravity yesterday or Sunday when we got home. It's going to be a little higher than I was anticipating.
Does that mess anything up or no? Is it just
going to be a good drinkable beer with a little bit of, like Haymeyer
says,
healthy.
Yep, there you go.
Healthy. All right, man. Well, hey, appreciate you.
All right.
Me. Good recap.
Anytime, brother.
Our little trip. I'd drink with you, but I'm out.
Oh man, I just cracked.
I got a swig. I got a little taste bud tingler there.
This is No Tan Line Nipa from Sloop. Thank y'all for tuning in, Let's
Thank
all
you,
be
Brett.
bonded
Buy
by
beer.
beer.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.